As heir to Tupac's legacy, Afeni Shakur now employs 15 people nationwide. She is president and CEO of Amaru Records, Amaru Entertainment Incorporated, Amaru Productions, Lumberton Pictures, the Tupac Amaru Shakur Foundation, and the Tupac Amaru Shakur Center for the Arts.
Can you see the pride of the panther in the concrete jungle alone with our car?
Why'd you join the Panther Party?
Because we saw a picture of some black men standing up on the steps of the Capitol building in Sacramento with guns.
Can you see the
proud and legal? And that's what people don't understand. What is it about the Black Panther Party that got our attention? They had a gun legally. So I was in the city, you couldn't have a gun legally. You couldn't have a gun. You couldn't stand, you couldn't pretend to protect, because what they said is they had it to protect their community against police brutality and other crimes. And they actually monitored the police with those guns. I love that.
Outshines all the rays of the sun, keeps bright like the rays of the sun, carries out like the rays of the sun.
You know, if it happened now, I don't think it would affect me like that now, but that was then. The reality was a different reality, and we needed to know that a black man could defend us. We didn't know. We thought it was illegal.
In the way of the progression of his race, can you see the pride of the panther?
What made me stay there is their encouragement on education. I loved reading, and they encouraged you to read everything, and then they talked about it, and they, so it was like an educational process for me. And then the fact that women were encouraged to be all that they could be. Now that doesn't happen anymore. But in the beginning, that's what that was. Those things were important to me because September of '68, that's the biggest school strike in the history of New York. And it's the biggest, it's the defining moment in community control of schools. And that's what pushed us into the party. That was the event. You know, one is in here and one is an actual event in your area. The schools were not going to open. The teachers were going to be on strike. My nephew Billy, kindergarten, we opened the school. And then we went and found the Panthers to protect the school. It was 21 of us arrested. There were 2 women, and 13 of us went to trial together. So it's 2 women and 11 men. The charges were conspiracy to commit every felony. Conspiracy to commit murder, conspiracy to commit arson, conspiring to blow up the Botanical Gardens, the Bronx Botanical Gardens, Abercrombie and Fitch, Alexander's, Macy's, all the major department stores in New York. And in addition, we were charged with plotting to blow up police stations as an afterthought.
Power to the people! Power to the people!
The decision was that I was going to defend myself. Now, when I made that decision, my co-defendants strongly objected because they thought that I was going to be the cause of them being convicted. They promised me that if I went in that court and stood up and said, I make a motion that I act as my own counsel, that they were going to ask to be severed from my trial. And I told them, do what you must do. But I am going in and I'm standing up, and didn't take me a second. Once that door opened up and they marched us into our seats, sit down, I got right up. I got right up and said, I make that motion. And that motion was granted.
Love is people power. Love. Love is people power. Love. Love is people power. All else crumble. Love is people power. Love must prevail.
You know, a good thing to remember is that the Black Panther Party lasted for 3 years. It's astounding that it had such an effect in just those 3 years. You know, I myself forget.
Like Pac loved y'all. Like Afeni loved Pac. Like we love Afeni.
Seed was planted in soil unfit to grow, but still that black seed continued to grow. Oh, black seed, keep on growing. And that's how I felt, always.
Mother, mother.
I am a recovering addict, and the best thing that I could say about my life today is that I am a recovering addict, and that is the truth, and it is a reality. My addiction took place during my son and my daughter's lives, and my addiction affected their growth, development, their happiness, their security, their safety, their everything. I continue to say I had a good sponsor. My sponsor encouraged me to understand that my children and my sister, my nieces and my nephews, my family, had a right to their own reaction and journey through their reaction to my devastating effect on their lives. I happen to have been a run-of-the-mill, everyday dope fiend, and so I had the symptoms that are described in all the books. I didn't like where I was, so I don't never want to be there no more. I never want to have my son look at me in the way that he looked at me when I was using. I don't want to see that in his eyes. That's from within me. In order for me not to have that, I was taught that I have no right to justify that. And I believe it with every fiber in my body. I'm very proud of my son. I'm proud that he is voicing his anger. He has no reason to pretend that that didn't affect him. That's foolish.
Ain't a woman alive that can take my mama's place.
Everything about life is a bad and a good, an up and a down. There is no one without the other. It does not exist.
And even though we had different daddies, the same drama when things went wrong, we blame mama. I reminisce on the stress.
I was blessed. I was blessed. And the best thing about the blessing is that we heal. We continue to heal. That what we have been doing for the past 5.5 years is walking on a journey, on a path to healing and being better, healthier people, you know. And all of these things are gifts. None of this is just an automatic, you know. I am very, very grateful. I am unable to not say that.
But the plan is to show you that I understand.
Our prayer is that this documentary is going to be 90 minutes of Tupac's voice. It will be Tupac's voice on whatever it is that Tupac is about. And we won't try to explain Tupac. We will allow Tupac to explain himself.
I can hear your sound.
I feel so confident and so sure about the man that I am that you can watch me. You can watch me when I fall, when I cry, when I get shy, when I go to jail, when I die. You can watch me.
I'm excited mostly because I feel like my family and the people who are Tupac's real friends and people who knew him and worked with him and who respected him when he was alive, I believe that those people have had to put up with just a lot of pain in hearing descriptions of Tupac or descriptions of Tupac's ideas or thoughts. And I, for one, as his mother, I will feel as though my son has represented himself, and I don't believe anyone represents Tupac better than Tupac.
The memory of our sons, Tupac and Biggie, should continue to inspire us and unite us and inspire children around the world to overcome obstacles to achieve their goals.
Tupac always wanted to have a place where young people who had talent could come and have a safe place to be developed and to, you know, air their talent and be nurtured with their talent. And so we needed another way for Tupac to be remembered besides just his movies or his music.
Long live the rose that grew from concrete when no one else even cared.
We start out standing on the shoulders of young people. So we said that what we would do is we would have a summer camp. So the first year we had a summer camp. That was 4 years ago. And the children who came to the first summer camp are still coming every year. So we have had the Tupac Shakur Performing Arts Camp for the past 4 years. And what we started out to do was to house these children and their work. We wanted them to be able to have some place where they could go all the time. We wanted to be a full-service performing arts center that really does help the arts community on the one hand, and on the other hand, enriches our community, helps our young people to know the relationship between arts and a successful life, art and a happy life, and to give them some more tools to use. When we first got the architect's drawings and showed them to the children, those children cried, each and every one of them. It was just the most emotional thing ever. The tears of joy and pride that came from those children, because what they said is, we now have a home, and prayerfully, that's exactly what we're going to have.
Don't ask me why. Thank God, nigga. Ask me how.
I sincerely believe that Tupac gave all that God requested of him, and past that, I think I'm selfish asking God to have him give a little bit more, I think that he did all that was required of him, and I'm just very, extremely grateful to have been chosen to be his mother. I was very blessed.